The state's third witness in the Senzo Meyiwa murder case, Tumelo Madlala, today telling the court that Kelly Khumalo told security officers at the Mulbarton home not to let the police in, but they eventually managed to get inside the home. Madlala among the people who were in the house when Meyiwa was shot and killed. 5 suspects are accused of the murder of the football star. We're joined now by our reporter, Linda Mnisi. Linda, good afternoon to you. What testimony from Madlala today?
Well, Stephen, you would have heard that testimony today, leaving the court basically on a cliffhanger as the state now, just in the late hours, sought to have a doc identification by the witness inside court. But of course, you would have heard the defense there vehemently objecting to that taking place. You would have heard the witness, Tumelo Madlala, who is a close friend to Senzo Meyiwa, saying that, he sees the intruder that entered that house on the day Senzo Meyiwa was killed. That person is in court, and that is the reason why he asked for a break yesterday. And the argument here, Stephen, you would have heard, especially from the defense arguing or objecting to that taking place, is the fact that the defense is saying that it's procedurally wrong to have a doc identification in court when the people or the accused who are before this court were not taken for an identification parade. You'll remember that even Kelly Khumalo's lawyer at some point saying that, the people or their clients were not taken for an ID parade to identify the people who are in the dock at this particular moment. And the defense basically is saying there must be a basis for that to happen in court, because the witness has already said that the first time he was taken for an ID parade, he could not identify anybody. The second time, he was called to give a description of that particular intruder or the person that entered the house. And now that the witness is saying that he sees who the intruder is and the intruder is before this court, the defense is now objecting to that happening, to that identification happening, because of course the accused were not taken in for identification. So at this point, that's where the court ended today, Stephen.
Linda, am I right to suggest that there was almost a little bit of irritation on the part of the witness, that people were a bit sort of frustrated by being in the same court together?
Yes, and he says that's the reason why he asked for a break yesterday, because he can't stand that particular person and is able. And if he was given the opportunity to point out he would do that, he would have done that yesterday. But that is what is in contention here at this particular court, because what the defense is saying is that there must be a basis. The state must lay the basis. It must not leave it to the witness to describe or to say this is the person that entered the house. There must be a basis for them to say that in fact what they have, the description that they have as a state, matches the one that is now being given for the witness, and therefore they would like a doc identification, which should then be done by the witness. So at this point, the state saying that it will hand over arguments, or it has filed or has compiled heads of arguments, which the defense also objected to, saying they don't even know what those heads of arguments are. At this point, what they're dealing with, or what the court should be entertaining, is the issue of the evidence that's been provided by the witness. It's evidence in chief, and therefore after that there should be cross-examination. So we're going to hear then first thing tomorrow morning the issue around these heads, and whether or not the state will be bringing an application for this kind of evidence to be admitted by the court, and whether or not it will lay a basis for that doc identification to take place, Stephen.
Linda Mnisi, thank you very much indeed for that live update, of course, from the High Court in Tshwane.